By the way, Joe is absolutely sickened even over the fact that, anyone like my mom can go into a mental hospital, okay, where they're out of their minds and filled with hatred and blame for whoever had to put them there, as Auntie said happened to her in the past, yet they take as the gospel truth and call elder services. You know what I mean? Because back when Auntie was my pseudo-friend or whatnot, I have texts I forwarded to Karen that I've shared with you guys where, where Auntie will say also, your mom said that she'd be fine if you didn't yell at her all the time. I didn't want a repeat of whatever, them calling elder services. That is sick in and of itself. That you can take as the gospel truth a mentally ill woman who, it's just sick. It's all fucking sick. I killed myself for nothing, endlessly advocating for my mom for nothing, while Auntie just got to sit back and do nothing, So Auntie's little also elder service was called again, very well could have been the hospital calling, my mom makes me the scapegoat, and they're going to take as the gospel truth the word of a mentally ill woman and call elder services on me. I mean, that's just sick. Because that was Auntie's excuse. Well, also elder service was called, and but she may have made that up. But whatever, they were called, but the hospital told them I was seeking guardianship, and they agreed to back off. See, Auntie's talking in circles anyway, because obviously she was already she's just full of shit. Okay. It was a conspiracy against me. I didn't do anything to my mom whatsoever, okay? Nothing. I was walking on eggshells, treating with kid gloves. I mean, but the fact that any mentally ill person can go into a mental hospital where they're sectioned and out of their fucking minds, and anything they say is taken as the gospel truth is sick in and of itself, okay? It's beyond sick. It's just unreal. It's unreal to me. And it's unreal to anybody who gives a flying fuck about me. It's unreal, any of this. Seriously. No mental hospital should ever fucking take as the gospel truth anything a mentally ill person says regarding, they're pissed off that they're in there. Never should they take as the gospel truth that, Like I said, this hospital has serious violations against it, and they are fucking just assholes, okay? Assholes. They discharged my mom too soon. They can turn around and blame, and she's back in there, but she wasn't even remotely fine when she was discharged from your hospital, you motherfuckers. And Auntie knew it. I have a text from Auntie. I told them, I called the social worker. If that's the best you could do for my sister, transfer her elsewhere. I have proof that Auntie said it. Okay? Like I said, they get impunity. They could do whatever, leave me with the fallout. My mom could not be in her right mind from day one. I can walk on eggshells with her. I can treat her with kid gloves. But in the end, she's going to hate me simply because she's back in there. And I'm the one who called. Because she wants me to sit there and allow her to die in front of me, figuratively or literally. And not do anything, and I did the right thing instead of the selfish thing, and I end up like this. That is what's so fucking sick, and that is why I will never stop screaming this to the heavens, okay? Auntie knew damn well my mom wasn't even remotely ready to come home, but Auntie wasn't involved anymore, so I was killing myself doing everything in my power to protect my mom from herself. Whereas somebody else, could have just, you think Auntie would ever do anything like that? No. If the minute my mom acted up with Auntie, the way my mom acted up with me repeatedly, Auntie would have had her sectioned again, period. But my compassion, my caring, my love, this is what it led me to. Absolute total fucking shit in this existence, Unfucking believable. It's like Joe's astonished. He's like saying you're verbally abusive towards your mom or something. It's just hearsay. He just can't believe it. He doesn't get it, It is totally ridiculous. My mom knows from past experience she could say anything and be believed. I told you. she was virtually putting herself in danger. I told you, but she was so out of it, and repeatedly, even back when I'd have to tell my cousin, like, my mom's saying this to you, but this is what's really going on. My mom couldn't do her coffee maker. That other time she's pouring boiling hot coffee into my blender that doesn't have a bottom on it, and it's going all over the floor, and she's not realizing it, and then she gets mad at me, why isn't the bottom on the blender, you know? And that's just one example out of 100. But you get it? And what turns into, I give up on getting her to go to bed, okay? I just want to sleep, and she won't even let me sleep. She won't leave me alone, or she'll play her radio too loud, and I can hear it even through my friggin' earplugs, okay? And then it turns into her complaining to her friends, or complaining to whoever. She tells me what to do. She tells me when to go to bed. Oh, my God. You've been staying up for days drinking a shitload of coffee. Yeah, she'll take her meds, but she's drinking so much coffee that it's going to overpower the meds. She's forcing herself to stay awake with a shitload of coffee and not going to bed, okay? But that turns into her saying to people, she tells me what to do. She tells me when to go to bed. And I told you about that church woman who I know because I was eavesdropping through the phone, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the fucking Twilight Zone. This is ridiculous. And I'm eavesdropping through the bedroom door, and then suddenly I hear her say, don't you just mind your own business? And I know what my mom was saying. She tells me what to do. She wants sympathy. And I know the woman who didn't know me from Adam and later learned that I was telling the truth about my mom. She learned, but at that time, I know she was saying, I'm going to call the cops, because then I heard my mom say, just mind your own business. Don't, you know? I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, this is ridiculous. This is fucking unbelievably ridiculous. And it's just as ridiculous for my mom to be sectioned, okay? She's obviously not in her right frame of mind at all, not even taking her meds from what I know. I found out from that nurse from day one my mom sporadically was taking her meds, was totally not in her right frame of mind, and could say anything and be believed, and they're going to call elder services. You know? Sick. So sick. We don't even know if Auntie was telling the truth about that anyway. You know what I mean? Because it's the chicken and the egg thing. She's like, also, she threw it in for good measure. Also, Elder Services was called again. I didn't want to repeat it 2014. What happened in 2014? The hospital, they agreed to back off. The hospital told them I was seeking guardianship, okay? So that's chicken and egg shit. It was just a conspiracy between my mom and you know, who's out of her mind, not even taking her meds from what I'd been told 2 days prior or whatnot, and Auntie grabbing her golden opportunity. The unthinkable happened. My mom viciously turns on me when I did nothing but try to help her. Nothing. Remember, one of her things in the regular hospital when I went to visit her, I was crying my fucking eyes out, and that person standing outside knew, you know? She's like, she doesn't mean it. Oh yeah, little did you know. Little did you know what the future held in store for me. You young woman who has your whole life ahead of her. Well, I'm a fucking nothing but a loser in this life. She overheard her say, you know, I was a living, breathing being. You took my life from me. I will never forgive. She got cold. I will never forgive you for this, Laura. Laura, I don't love you. I don't love you, okay? Yeah, she got into that mental hospital and signed the fucking release, but probably the more she wasn't taking her meds and getting angry and anger being in there, you know? Auntie knows how angry my mom is. I have other texts from her. Your mom was so angry, bringing up every negative thing under the sun, and, you know. Whenever that was from, probably when she was in that same hospital before. You know what I mean? But yeah, my mom's golden. She's fucking out of her mind crazy and gets believed anything she fucking says. Fucking believable. You know, it'd be one thing if I just was sitting around eating bonbons or smoking pot or drinking all the time or whatever, or just letting my mom go on her merry way, do whatever, and you know what I mean? But I wasn't doing that. You guys know I was documenting it. I was killing myself while Auntie was doing total fucking shit. That is why I'm so angry, and that is why I can tell the neighborhood woman down the street who doesn't, you know, why I dwell on this. You know, I have a right to fucking, quote, dwell. If everything's been ripped away from me when all I was doing was trying to help my mother and Auntie wasn't doing anything at all. People. Whatever. I doubt she has much longer to live as my mom, especially now. I told you, she doesn't even drink fluid. She's on these psych meds. She's not taking, you know, I'm going to take her 55 and older mega food vitamins. I'm going to find out what the difference is between them and my over 40, because I bought her 2 brand new ones that she never took. What, you know, they're expensive enough. They're like